Hello, everyone, and welcome back once again to your monthly movie mini reviews. This time for the lovely, horrifying month of October. Now, my sister and I, we may, oh, I'm Andrew, that's Kelly, by the way. We may, in case you don't know us and just came here.
Welcome. If you're brand new, welcome.
If the algorithm dumped this in your recommends, I don't know either.
I have no idea what you're watching, but awesome. We're cute as can be.
So that's right. We are adorable. Bask in our cuteness.
Bask in our cuteness. I like the new blanket on your.
Yeah, I'm cycling through the because when I because I only had room in the wash, because normally when I wash them, I just wash the one on the couch and I throw it back on the couch. But since you and Jeremy were here, and I washed the one after the charity stream, I threw it in the wash and then just got another one out and put it on the couch. And it actually caught, people were like, new blanket. I'm like, that's just...
You're like, I have more than one.
Yeah, and so I think I'm gonna switch out to the other one of Grandma's knitted blankets soon and show up, and then probably go back to the original, because I like the darker muted colors better. Than this is a little bright and garish.
You like dark and muted colors?
Yeah, funny that. So okay, so those of you who don't know, monthly movie mini reviews is where my sister and I take an enormous amount of time to talk about every single movie that we watched throughout any given month. Luckily, this particular month, October 2021, both of us only watched 4 movies apiece. So maybe we can get this in under 4 hours this time, because usually I have to break these up into multiple videos because we just end up yammering for so long.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll go first. We'll talk about my movie first. And if you recall, it's been a while, because as we're recording this, it's December 5th.
Happy birthday, Cat!
Yeah, happy birthday, Cat. We had the Extra Life charity event at the beginning of the month, and then there was Thanksgiving, so we didn't have a chance to actually record October's movies earlier, which is why this video is a little late. So if you remember September's, the last movie I watched was Found Footage 3D, which was exactly what it sounds like. It's a found footage movie in 3D. So
that's what that means.
Yes. So the first movie I watched in October was called, and I'm going to butcher this name, but it's something like Gonjiam, Haunted Asylum. This is a movie from South Korea. It is a found footage film, which I didn't know when I started watching it. I said I just saw it. It was a haunted, it was like it was like people go into a haunted house. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll watch that. And I'm like, oh, it's a found footage movie. Oh, okay. I honestly had no idea going in that it would be a found footage movie, but it is. And Gonjiam, Gonjiam, however that is pronounced, is the name of the titular haunted asylum. So in the movie, we have a production crew who works on YouTube, and their gimmick is they go around to haunted places and they explore them. And they do live streams of them running around with head cams and stuff, running through different haunted houses and stuff. Well, this time they're going to Gonjiam, the haunted asylum, long since abandoned. And they're really not supposed to go there, but whatever, which seems like kind of a stupid thing to live stream. It seems like something that you would record and then post later and not live stream, because it'd be like, oh, these people this is live. They're trespassing right now. So we could just go arrest them. Okay. So this movie's really good. I really liked this movie. It doesn't do anything new as far as horror or found footage goes. And it can be a bit cliche in places, but damned if the actors don't sell the hell out of being completely freaked out by the situation they're in.
That's awesome.
I mean, it does. What I mean by cliche is you have the main guy who's producing the show when things obviously start getting freaky and things are going weird, who no matter how evil, no matter how greedy you are, anyone in this position would go like, we're peacing out. Wow. we're done here. We're out before we all die. And he's like, no, my ratings are going. I'm looking at the little view counter going up and up and up. No, we have to stick in there and stick it out. It's like, no one would know. But I mean, again, which was kind of something that they addressed in the found footage 3D movie, which is more of a commentary on found footage movies. They're like, if you do just like, oh, freaky haunted stuff going, I'm leaving. Yeah, well, you don't have a movie now. It's like, who would keep their cameras on? Yeah, no one, but now you don't have a movie. So these people all have cameras bolted to their, they're all wearing rigs. So, they have all GoPros and stuff on, and
hands-free, yay.
Yeah, it is a solid little haunted house movie. It's got some really likable characters, and I think the thing that sold me the most is just there's in the wrestling world, there's selling and there's no selling. And what that means is, when someone takes a hit in, the wrestling, the big WWE, WCW, that kind, the Hulk Hogan type. I'm old. I don't know who's wrestling today.
Right.
Even John Cena is not really wrestling anymore, so far as I know.
He and The Rock acts now.
Yeah, and they're good.
And
I would say actually John Cena is probably a better performer than Dwayne Johnson.
There are fight words, because I will watch like any The Rock film. What's up?
Look.
Children.
Hi, children.
Hello.
Hello.
Are you going to bed, or are you just here to say hi?
I'm just here to say
okay. Hello.
hello.
Bye. So,
no, I will go see the Rock movies.
Mm-hmm.
Because first off, I do believe that he gives good movie.
Yes. I will say this. I think Dwayne Johnson has more range, more acting range than John Cena. But I might argue, I might have to see more of his oeuvre first, but I might argue that John Cena is actually a better comedian than Dwayne Johnson.
I could get behind that. I mean, he was fantastic in
The Suicide Squad.
That's the one. I'm like, this one.
Have you seen the previews for the Peacemaker show that they're going to be putting on?
No,
HBO
I haven't. But
Plus,
he is
HBO
like
Max.
embodying that character, and it's so exciting.
God damn it! I'm probably going to have to get HBO Max because there's stuff on it I really want to see. Darn it! I don't want to pay for another streaming service. I think it was just announced. I was complaining that Chucky, the TV show.
I'm kind of not excited about that.
I enjoyed the first 2 episodes. But then they wouldn't let me watch anymore, and I don't have cable. But it's on Sci-Fi and USA Network.
Oh,
I don't have cable, so
then I can't help you.
Yeah. Sci-Fi and USA had the first 2 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
For the first 2 weeks, the first 2 episodes were available to watch. Now they're not available anymore, and you can't watch any of them. I'm like, oh, is it on DVD? No. Apparently, it's coming to streaming on Peacock, which is something else I don't have.
This freaking Peacock network is
not going to get it either.
No.
I'm probably going to have to go to the movies to see Spider-Man because it's probably going to end up on Stars, Although maybe that contract is running out, and I think movies starting in 2022 or Sony movies after 2022 are going to go to Netflix. Anything before that goes to Stars, and that's Spidey Far From Home is still in December. So
yeah, we already have our tickets.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're watching movies. Tell me about the movie.
So back to the movie. As I see, this is why this show takes us forever to get through our damn movies. So Gonjiam Haunted Asylum, and I do apologize for how much I must be butchering that name, but I would recommend watching it. It's on Shudder. It's
Okay.
another streaming service. That one's the horror streaming service.
Yeah.
And I'd recommend it. It's a solid found footage movie. It's a solid spooky haunted house movie. There are a couple things that don't quite work. For example, they have a drone. They establish that they have a drone.
Okay.
And they never use it. I'm like, why did that get cut out? Why is I mean, there's like one moment at the very end of the film where I think they do something with I don't know, but
Did
they
it
do really
feel poorly edited, because I know you and I
no
have seen...
it doesn't.
Okay.
I can't remember what it is. There's something to do with it, and there's a lot of setup and payoff throughout the movie. But and what's really going on in the asylum is kind of unknown. You don't find out what's really going on. It's one of those unknowable hauntings. It's not like, okay, we have this specific ghost who wants this specific
woman
thing,
and this is her backstory.
yeah, it's none of that. It's just haunted, and you gonna die. You know, don't know what they're going to do for me, but they're going to come out of the darkness. They're going to grab you and drag you screaming into the darkness. And sometimes they may just stand there and look at you. And you're like,
no, thank you.
I'm going to scooch along this wall, reach for the door, and it's just kind of standing there staring. You're like, I'm just going to leave. And then, you know,
like, do I have something on my face?
Yeah. So yeah, I recommended it. I found it a very entertaining and a lot of fun. Not without the few things I'd criticize, but overall I found it quite enjoyable. So Gonjiam Haunted Asylum. If you subscribe to Shudder, give it a watch. I thought it was pretty good. Oh, it also does that fun thing where the producer is sitting in his tent outside the asylum, you know, with the multi-camera setup, so he can, you know, switch cameras and stuff. And he's going back through footage. And he's looking at this wide shot of the characters, and he's like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Who's filming this? Because everyone in the building is in this shot. Who's filming this?
That's awesome.
And I backed up through the movie. That's in there. It's only like half as it's a really quick shot. It's like a second or a second and a half long, but that shot is in the movie. And I honestly it didn't dawn on me the first time, because to be fair, they don't really linger on it.
Okay.
But there's some cool hauntings are difficult because you have to come up with really inventive and fun, creepy, spooky haunting gags. And that's a hard line sometimes, because sometimes what's creepy, spooky to some could just be stupid to others. But this one, a lot of the gags that they come up with in the film are really well done. And so thumbs up from me.
Yay, I love that.
So what's your first movie?
So my first movie is Freaky, the one with and some girl.
Vince Vaughn and
girl.
Yeah.
Girl. Where they somehow, he's a serial killer and they switch bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's in his body trying to basically get her hot teenage body back, because, you know, Vince Vaughn's in his mid-40s, right? And she's a teenage, you know, she is a teenage hot body, but that's not the character, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
She's actually cool and smart, and I will say,
so does he want to switch back, or he's like, no, I'm good?
He's super happy to be in this girl's body. He's like, I can get in
He's
anywhere.
Like, as Vince Vaughn, I'm big and creepy, and people are like, that guy looks like a serial killer, but now I can go anywhere. It's great.
Exactly. So he's like, oh, I like this body. This is
short,
great.
And these heels are killing me.
Yeah, right. So
and this makeup is a bitch. How do you guys do this every damn day?
But we what is the movie? The Jumanji movie with The Rock. So
which is just Jumanji, or was it subtitled?
But, no, it just
Welcome to the Jungle or something
with Jack Black, who plays a female character. Well, a female embodies who Jack Black is.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't
And
seen it. I heard it's good though.
oh my
I
gosh.
heard both of them were quite good. I haven't seen either of them.
So first off, I've seen them both and they're fantastic. Second
Okay.
off, Jack Black plays an amazing female teenage girl. And third off, so does Vince Vaughn. I was gonna say, my whole thing was not since Jack Black have I seen a grown man play a teenage girl. But you would not have gotten that, so I had to go and like explain and reel you into my story, but I don't think I did it well enough. But anyways, Vince Vaughn is hilarious and you can tell he's having a great time. Unfortunately, the girl didn't have so much to work with because it's like the thing about the movie is there's no backstory about who this guy is or why he kills or who he's after. Does he have a type? He's just a murderer. And there are some gnarly kills in this movie. Someone gets
oh, is it actually rated R?
Oh boy.
Oh,
There are
great.
some gnarly kills, which is fantastic. But it
because I'll be frank, I'll be honest. I am the kind of weenie who will see a horror movie that, like is it what's that one with the one with the gal who Happy Birthday to You or something, where she keeps dying over Groundhog Day keeps dying.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Is that
Happy birthday to you? Yeah, that one. Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's a cool premise. Rated PG-13. I'm like, no thanks.
Oh yeah, no. So
because you can't show anything I'd want to see in that premise.
No, this one's pretty gnarly. She does great. She's fine, but like there's nothing for her to do. Vince Vaughn doesn't have a character, so she just kind of like
does the Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers.
She does if I look out the top of my eyes, I always look a little upset. Although I don't, I just look a little weird because but yeah, it's hilarious. Do I recommend? Yeah, it's a fun. You get what you paid for. You get where you go for. Like,
is it streaming anywhere, or did you get it at a Redbox or something?
No, it was on. It was either Hulu or Netflix, and it was an original to them, so it might have been Netflix because I think it was like a Netflix original type of thing.
I have to look for it. I don't recall seeing it.
Yeah, it's short and it has nothing to do with anything outside of this microcosm.
Right.
It is this girl and her friends. She switches bodies. She tries to get back. Anything before that, anything after that, anything like it's this one small piece. And he's great. And he, trying to convince his friends that he is actually their friend, the girl, and not, big weird Vince Vaughn. And he does like this dance, and it's like he's like, "Who? No one would know this."
Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa pop, shimmy, shimmy, rock.
Something like very, very akin.
I saw Big in the theater. That's how old I am.
I know. So yeah, freaky.
You know how I made this joke when I was doing the stream earlier today. You saw the first 2 episodes of Hawkeye, right?
Oh yes.
You know how it starts out going back in time to where Haley Seinfeld, the Kate Bishop, is a little girl.
Yeah.
And it goes 2004. I'm like, 2004? That can't be right. Oh. Oh God, I'm old. How can anyone be 5 in 2004? That doesn't make any sense. I'm like, oh. Now, to be fair, the MCU I think is like canonically like 2024, 2025. It's ahead. It jumped ahead 5 years in Endgame, so they're a bit ahead of us. But anyway,
no, that's true. Yeah.
So freaky. All right. Glad that turned out well. That's I saw previews for that, and that was one of those things where I was like, that's a cool premise. That's either going to work or it's not. I don't see a lot of in between here. That looks like one of those movies that's either going to be a lot of fun or just doesn't work at all.
But that's the thing, is it's fun. Don't go in expecting some meaning or it like I said, this is the story. There is zero
little adventure film. There's no real thesis here.
There's nothing else to gain, but that's okay. I didn't go in for anything other than some gnarly kills and Vince Vaughn playing against type.
Right. Well, okay. So, all right, the next movie I watched, which is one you watched before,
Okay.
Yeah, Black Widow. That hit Netflix, Disney Plus on October 6th. So I watched it, and I liked it. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed it quite a bit.
Absolutely.
I would say that the
But
thing
the
that
prison
stuck.
break was poorly planned. Please continue.
Yeah, how did Elena not get shot multiple times? There's like, that guy, he's being really rude, shooting
And
machine
how
gun at
were
me.
they
I'm just
not
gonna stand
there?
out here in the open with my.
But like, how were they not already there? Hover. You know what helicopters can do, like hummingbirds? Hover. You should have been there.
Yeah.
You should have had all you need to do, like once you saw him coming out the door, go bloop, ladder, he grabs it and you fly as he climbs or whatever. Yep. But like there, it was
it's
a
like,
fun scene.
All right, I'm out.
Good.
All right, I'm out in the courtyard. Now what? I don't know. We're on our way. You're not here?
I know, right? That was the one thing that I'm like, come on, guys, you're better than this.
It's like, we didn't think we spent so much time on that little doll. we didn't have time to think the rest of it through.
Well, especially because they talk first. He puts it in his ear and he just like looks around and they go, you know, hey, it's your lucky day and we're gonna come get you. So it's like they knew exactly when he was going to get the doll and they knew exactly when he had put it in his ear for them to say that. So they should have been better with their time management skills.
Yeah, you know what might have been really funny is if they're like, okay, here's the plan. In 5 minutes, you're going to, punch somebody and run out the front door. He's like, okay, punch someone and run out the front door. Got it. No, 5 minutes. What part of 5 minutes? Shit. We get over there now. That could have worked.
Anything, but the fact that they were still flying to their target is. Anyways, this is about you and your experience with the movie.
And my experience was, wow. So that's what the lyrics to Smells Like Teen Spirit are. Because there's that slow minor key cover of Smells Like Teen Spirit at the end. I'm like, is that what the lyrics are?
So you know what's funny is
I could have looked those up at any time in the last 20 some years, but I never did. But thanks to Black Widow, I now understood the lyrics and promptly forgot them again. I don't remember what they are anymore, but but I was like, oh, that's what the lyrics are. How about that? Cool.
That's sad that that's what you took from that.
I will say that it's another one of those movies where the title card doesn't come up until like 15 some minutes into the movie. It's always funny when that happens. But that opening sequence where they're on the run and they go to the airport and they fly away, that's my favorite action sequence in the movie. That one's really, really good. And I think that goes to show that you can just have a really well-staged, well-choreographed, well-conceived, and thought-out action scene without devolving to big globs of CGI shit slamming into each other and sky lasers. As much as I kind of enjoyed that fantasy too, I had a lot more fun with a guy hanging onto the wing of a plane. That was much. The stakes are a lot more real than a big CGI blob. Because we can get the idea of being out in the open while people are shooting at you. Unfortunately, a lot of us can really conceive of that. We get the idea of, if I fall off the wing of this plane, that is a long ass drop. Also, if I fall off the wing of this plane, there's no way I'm catching up with this plane again, and I will lose my family. So you have really clear, understandable, immediate, relatable stakes, and that allows tension.
Yeah.
Again, I'm going to focus on the stuff I didn't like because that's more fun. But
fun.
Overall, I really enjoyed the movie.
Yes, most definitely.
But let's talk about some stuff that I don't think worked as well.
Okay, you tell me, and I will let you know.
I love David Harbour's performance, but it was weird to me that I don't know anyone Russian, so I cannot speak to the accuracy of any of the accents. But the fact that David Harbour's choice was to speak broken English, when in the beginning of the film it shows that maybe, I guess he forgot maybe he spoke almost exclusively Russian for the last 20 years and lost it, because he could speak flawless English in the beginning of the film, and then when they meet him later, he speaks kind of broken English. And it's like, why? Because it's a funnier voice? I don't know.
I don't know if I picked up on that, but that is interesting because that is
my father, he went toilet on my hands. It's like, why are you talking like that? I mean,
oh yeah, that's right.
But I will say, the editing in the movie at times feels really, and the editing I'm referring to is like the length of establishing shots and scene transitions. The movie seems at times to be in a big damn hurry. And yes. It's like 2 hours and 15 minutes long, and maybe it was in a hurry. It's like, do you remember who directed this movie? Because I can't remember what her name is. I don't remember.
No, so I don't.
Whatever her name is who directed the movie, the sense I was getting was, okay, the movie's running long, but I will be goddamned if I am taking a single solitary frame out of the dinner scene in the middle of the movie. We're getting all of that in there. That entire 25 minutes, all of that stays in. So we will trim up the establishing shots and some of the scene transitions to shorten the runtime, but all that stuff, that stays in. And you know what? Fine, because I love that sequence. I love the dinner sequence in the middle of the movie. It's great.
But so for me, hold on, I'm looking up Kate Shortland. I would not have
Kate Shortland, there we go.
And maybe it's just me, but like I thought that they were either too young, or I don't feel like, because don't they say that they were only together for like 3 or 4 years?
Yes.
3 or 4 years between the ages of 3 and 6, to me, is not long enough for that to be like, it was real to me, and to remember so much of the, you know, I talk to the kids now and I'm like, I remember when I met you. And they're like, I don't. And I would tell them stories like, I have no recollection of that. And like, I met them at, I mean, Miles is fine because like,
considering what their lives were like immediately after that period of their lives ended, I can understand why they would look back so fondly on it.
I guess so, is because they never had a family again, I guess. Especially the one was in a red room and whatnot. But okay, I'll agree with that. But I was just like, I can't tell you the inside jokes you and I had when we were 6 to 10, 8. Although, and if I did remember them, let's be clear, the ones that I remember are probably not the ones you remember.
Yeah, I think probably one of the only, I can come up with one probably shared memory that you and I have from when we're, although this wouldn't be from when we were 5 and 6. This would have been older than that. More, I mean, I remember like 10,
too, but that's the thing.
Is like you remember Derek's broken butt?
No. Oh yes, the creaky.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. But that wasn't when we were 5 and 6.
Olivia did not like that noise. She's like, so yes.
Everyone watches Derek's broken butt. What are you talking about? It's an inside joke. That's how.
Yeah, there you go. Derek's broken butt.
Oh, yes, the whistle communicating thing. No, I don't know. Don't know. I mean, I get what you're going for. Pick something else because that's hokey as hell. That doesn't work for me.
Yeah,
I don't buy that being a thing with anybody. You've seen Face Off, right? John Travolta and Nick Cage, right?
Best movie ever. I want you to take his face.
Well, but John Travolta's family, they had this thing. Like, that is not a thing with any family ever. I don't buy that at all.
If anyone came up to me and put their hand in my face, they will lose that.
They're losing fingers. Yeah, that's just weird. Don't do that.
It is you. And then the little boy at the end does it to his dad. And he's like, it is you. And I'm like, oh.
You see, Nick Cage is over here and is like, if I let you suck on my tongue, would you be grateful? That's less weird and creepy than this thing.
Although that's I'm gonna hang out, isn't it?
I'm gonna hang out with Nick Cage.
Wait, is that Con Air or is that Face Off?
Oh shit, that's Con Air.
Doesn't matter.
Or wait, maybe? Yeah, no, I think that's actually the no. That's Face Off because he's the hero in Con Air. Nick Cage is. He's the federal marshal agent guy who gets on the plane,
Oh.
right? Yeah.
It is based off.
But that is an airplane sequence that
Yes. Oh my God.
that's from. So okay.
If you stuck my tongue, would you be grateful?
Yeah. And then he like shoots her and throws her out of the plane or something like that, I think.
Then
right?
he sticks his tongue out and she swallows it.
Yeah. I mean, no judgment. I don't want to watch that. That's gross.
My turn?
No. I was still talking about Black Widow. We can get another 40 minutes out of this, I'm sure. So what are we talking about? That.
Black Widow.
I kind of like the fact that the bad guy was just essentially Harvey Weinstein. He's just a horrible human being, and fuck this guy. It's like he doesn't need a tragic backstory. He doesn't need. He's not a misunderstood villain. He's just horrible, and fuck this guy. So I like that. I loved Natasha and Yelena. They're a wonderful pair. Elena's. I can't wait to see her. I hope she shows up in Hawkeye like it was teased at the end of the movie. She's a lot of fun. She's like, this jacket is so cool, right? It's got like pockets. I'm like, I'm looking at the jacket. I'm like, where are the pockets on the inside? I don't really see any pockets on that jacket, but whatever, the joke works. And she's
I'm
like,
in love with her.
Why do you do that pose thing?
You're such a poser.
You're such a poser. And she does, I love the way she, I gotta take my headphones off for a second, but I love that they're in a store in public. And I love the way that she's like, that pose thing that you do. And she doesn't just drop into it. She's like, like this, you do this, you have your arm up here and you flip the hair. I just love the decision that she can't really be bothered to just flat out drop into the pose. She has to like widen her stance and then lower into it and hit the hair flippy thing. And then she does it herself later and she's like, oh, no, this is terrible. I'm not doing it. What's funny is, what's her name? Rachel Weisz? Is that the woman who plays the mom? Weisz. She does the same thing, and she has a more extreme version of that 3-point landing with the extended hand, which I thought was really funny. So that's obviously where she got it from.
But yeah, I imitated Florence Pugh's hair for quite some time after that movie. I was like, I'm in love with that hairstyle. I almost did today, but then I decided not to.
I don't care for the fact that both, especially Black Widow, is, I mean, she's got like adamantium bones or something. She's like invincible. Like she takes that fall off the roof and then hits a ledge, bounces off, hits like a piece of air conditioner, bounces off and falls all the way to the ground. She's like, oh, I'm fine. I'm like, she'd be dead. I'm like, oh, Black Widow's dead.
She took some mighty falls. I'm
like, I was thinking about that scene. I'm like, there's got to be a way to do this and make it cool, but still not completely, absolutely. You should never, I mean, Steve Rogers takes that tumble and you're like, well, he's a super soldier. He can land that. It's fine. Black Widow's just a very talented person. And I don't care how talented you are, that fall's going to kill you. So the one woman who's chasing them pretty much just falls straight to the ground and just breaks her ankle.
Yeah.
And my thought was, and Yelena, I think, like gets flung through a window. I was thinking, what if she gets flung into the window? The one woman drops off and hits the ground. Black Widow just slams into the ledge. She slams into the ledge, was holding on. And the other woman takes the fall that Black Widow took and just ends up on the ground like, ouch, ow. And Black Widow does like a cool parkour thing, jumping down from the ledge and then onto the air conditioning thing and sliding down the drain pipe and doing a really cool, nimble, acrobatic thing to get down the wall while Yelena's obviously taking the stairs.
Yeah.
She takes so many hits in this movie that would have absolutely put her ass in the dirt. I mean, I'm like, she's dead. No. Yeah. Big explosion goes flying. No, she's dead. Another explosion goes flying off a bridge. She's dead. What'd you think of Taskmaster? I like Taskmaster.
I like it.
A little different
Very.
from the books, but I thought it worked out quite well. It was one of those, I predicted who it was going to be, and then I didn't feel particularly proud about it because it really couldn't have been anybody else. I'm like, who's it going to be? And it almost a lot of movies these days have the problem of dun dun dun. And it's like, I don't know who that is. I've never seen them before. You know?
Yeah.
It happens in Enfys Nest in the Solo Star Wars movie. Solo, a Star Wars movie.
Yeah. Where in that?
What's her name? A young gal with the big curly red hair. Something Kellerman.
Right. She's gorgeous. By the way.
Yeah, attractive woman. But
she was in Winter Soldier one, right? She was in that.
She's in the Hawkeye. I'm sorry, Hawkeye. Falcon and the Winter Soldier. She's in that. She's the lead terrorist person.
Yes, I remember. I remember when she took her thing off, and it was like,
who's that? I don't know who that is. Is that like Woody Harrelson and the other person's kid? Maybe. I mean, do we know her?
Yeah,
I don't know who that is. They did pretty much kind of the same thing in Hawkeye. Now, I'm a dork, and I know who Echo is. I know who Maya.
Oh, sure.
Echo is. So I know who that was, but it's kind of the boss. It's the boss of the tracksuit gang, tracksuit mafia, and she turns around as a bump, bump, bump. Oh my God! We've never seen this character before. I have no idea who that is.
Yeah.
They need to stop doing that.
Yeah.
Because it's not a dramatic reveal if you don't know who the hell that is. And
that actress, though, that plays Taskmaster, I swear I've seen her before. I'd have to look at her.
I haven't looked at her credits, so
I haven't either, but I swear
she's got a great look.
They drilled it in. They drilled it in from the beginning.
It was clear at least it was clear who that was, though, even though you'd never seen that character and didn't know she was alive. Right. I was like, well, I mean, it has to be this character, just process of elimination, thematically. I mean, I'd pat myself on the back, but I mean, that one was kind of obvious. But it kind of rode the line of I don't know who that is. Reminds me, there's this great scene in, I think the Justice League Unlimited cartoon, where it's a body swapping episode where Lex Luthor and the Flash swap bodies.
Oh dear.
And so Lex Luthor is in the Flash's body. And
does he have the Flash's powers?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
And he uses them to a degree that the Flash never did. Well, and it's like, oh damn,
he's Lex Luthor.
The Flash could do some serious damage if he was completely without, morals and scruples. But the funniest part is he's like, he goes into the bathroom they're on the watchtower or something. He goes into the bathroom and he's like, well, at least I can find out who the Flash really is. And he takes off the hoodie and he looks himself in the mirror and goes, I have no idea who that is. It's like, who the hell is Wally West? I don't know who that is. Or is it Barry? I think it's Wally West. But in that, it doesn't matter. But it's a great scene. It's like, oh no, he's going to unmask the Flash. And he takes off the mask and he looks at him in the mirror and goes, I have no idea who that is. It's a great scene. I love that.
That's
but we're talking about Black Widow. A lot of this, the falling bit from the red room in the sky. I hope we actually see some more of Taskmaster and some of the red room rejects, the girls. But I said the same thing. Did you see Ant-Man 2, Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Mm-hmm.
I forget what her name is, who played Ghost. But I really liked her.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I'd like to see that. I hope she pops up again sometime because she was a fun character. But we haven't seen her since. She just got cast in. I think she's I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think she plays Jill Valentine in the Resident Evil movie that just came out. I think. Claire Redfield is the big one in the marketing campaign, but I heard that she's playing Jill Valentine, so that's cool. Anyway, so yeah, Black Widow. Glad I finally. My biggest critique of Black Widow is this movie, I feel, really would have worked better had it come out after Civil War and not after Endgame. I think, save for the stinger, obviously, but I think this movie actually would have worked better 5 years ago. Unfortunately, it wasn't shot 5 years ago, but solidly fun action film, bunch of characters I enjoy hanging out with, and I'm interested, and I'm happy to see the Red Guardian and Yelena and all the others, Taskmaster and others in subsequent MCU films. So
Cool.
clappity clap, I like it.
Clappity clap.
All right,
So
your turn.
I saw my second film that I saw in October is called something about a robbery, something Armored Car Robbery from 1950.
Okay, who's in it?
People.
People. Okay.
No, I
People are
should
probably
know this.
dead now.
Yeah,
That's the weirdest thing about watching older movies is a lot of times it gets in my head. I'm like, wow, all
I
these
know
people
that-
are dead.
Okay, so Charles McGraw, William Pullman,
William who?
James Flavin, Douglas
Sorry.
Fowley, Adele Jurgens,
William who?
Talman.
Hmm.
Yeah, not anyone that, I mean, they're around.
Yeah.
They do stuff and things.
Yeah.
That's about it. It's not good. It's not good. Yeah, it wasn't great. I mean, it was interesting to watch for the time, like it was interesting to watch. I don't regret watching it. I was kind of like, well, this is cool. It moves really quickly. There's a lot of good about it. So obviously, it was really funny because the dude and friend are going to rob an armored car because it's called Armored Car Robbery. So stay with me.
I would hope that happens somewhere in the movie.
So the armored car, so it starts at the beginning of the movie, is they're testing how long it takes, the police to respond to things. So they're kind of like doing some surveillance work, and that's very interesting. You're like, okay, that's where they're doing it. But I was thrown off, and this is my own fault because I was hanging on something that wasn't important. They had this big map of Wrigley Field, and because they were trying to do the armored car in front of Wrigley Field, so they wanted to because there's a big crowd there, so you can get lost with what you're doing. And there were reasons. And they keep talking about Los Angeles, or they keep talking about California, Los Angeles. And I'm like, what is that? So I had to I'm like, all right, I need to figure out what's up. So apparently there was a Wrigley Field in Los Angeles in the late 40s. It is no longer there. So, but I spent the first part of the movie and I'm like, that's supposed to be Chicago. Why are they saying that it's in California? I'm so upset with you. And
did it move, or were there two?
I'm like, I didn't look further than that because I'm like, okay, I need to get back into the movie.
Yeah.
And so anyways, it has all of the tropes of the double cross. She's actually, I'm cheating on your girlfriend's cheating on you with me, and we're actually really in love. So we were going to take you out once we did the armored car robbery, and then we have to find a hideout. So we're going to go do this hideout, and we're going to get rid of the other two so we don't have to split the money. It's all the same things that you kind of expect. All of those beats do happen. Everyone is a terrible shot with a gun, just awful. No one knows how to shoot a gun, which is fine. I mean,
the best kind of person with a gun is the one who can't hit me.
There you go. But the cops don't know how to. They're that's the thing that I don't like about those kind. I think I don't know why back in the day, if you will, the cops were bumbling. And I don't know if that was because
like Keystone Cop era type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, or like, yeah, and like, or the cops, like, you know, they, I stubbed my toe, so I fell in pursuit. And I don't know if it's because they didn't know how else to have the guy get away. That you know, that inlet, you know, I'm like, I hate the bumbling, like, just so I don't know if it was a sign of the time because they thought it was kind of funny, like, or cheeky, or like, you know, hey, copper, like, we're gonna.
No, the Keystone era was a lot earlier than the 50s, but
Yes, yeah, but I mean, but they're always just they can't catch their man, you know, they're really bad at their jobs.
Although in that era, you can't show the bad guys getting away with it, so.
Oh, and they don't, but like they don't.
They never do. They legally couldn't. So that kind of deflates some of the tension out of movies of that era, because you know, are they going to get away with it? No,
they're not.
Part of the fun of, like, you know, Danny Ocean and the remakes anyway, because in the original they get caught, of course.
Well, in the original, the money goes up in smoke.
It does.
They burn it.
The ending is great. I actually I watched the original. I showed you just the ending, because the movie sucks, but the ending's wonderful.
And them walking away from the funeral going,
oh crap.
All the money. That sucks. And this one, it ends with the guy getting hit by a plane.
Ow.
And
was it taxiing on the runway, or does it land on him, or how do you get hit by him? Oh, okay.
Lands on him.
Like, does it fall out of the sky, land on him, or does it like come in for a landing and run over?
It's coming in, and there's that moment, and then of course, like, money flies everywhere.
Wait, is he like in the armored car at the time?
No, this is after he's already robbed the armored car. So like the armored car robbery, the actual robbery is pretty cool, and it takes place very early. And then everything else in the movie is about trying to get away with this money. And the cops getting clues to follow them. And of course, there's like stupid moments of them going back into someone's house because they left a clue somewhere or something, or they need something from this person's house. And you're just like, you are dumb. But anyways.
Y'all suck.
So the actual robbery takes place, the actual robbery itself is pretty cool. And yes, because of the era, they couldn't get away with it. They all die. It's wonderful. Money is always, you know, in the wind at the end. And just like every great chase always ends through the, you know, tarmac. Like there's always some sort of, you know, because they want to get to the private airplane or wherever that's waiting for them. So it's always on a runway of some sort. And that's how he died, via plane. But the armored car robbery itself is pretty cool. So what they do is so first off, would never work, but it's cool. They have their car parked where the armored car comes in. So first off, that would never happen. You'd never have an armored car parking right next to another vehicle without like people. It doesn't matter. So the armored car comes in, and they're pretending to have car trouble. So like, you know, they're bent over their hood and they're like, oh, give it another go, give it a try. And so the guys get out of the, you know, the armored car pulls up and they're like, all right, let's see if we got this.
The armored car absolutely would not stop to help someone having car trouble on the side of the road.
And
that would never happen, but whatever.
And they do it, and they hit it in so that the exhaust comes out, and then they add smoke bombs, so it's like the car backfired into this big exhausty smoky thing, and then they go boom boom, take out the armored car guards, go in so it's kind of interesting. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I mean, it's
the premise would never work, but you know, that's okay. If you have fun with it, I'm willing to like grant you some stuff.
That you know? It looked cool, and it was something that you haven't seen. Like maybe we haven't seen it because it wouldn't work, but it's still kind of, I don't know. I was like, okay, I can get with you 1950s.
Sure.
But yeah, so I saw armored car.
Or maybe armored cars in that era were a lot more lax than the ones we're familiar with from the 70s onward.
Well, it is true, and I wish I remembered, but like that's one of the things. And that's
Maybe it's less of an armored car, more of just a money truck. It's
yeah,
like
and
no one had ever heard of knocking over a money truck, so they were a lot more lax back then. That's possible. I really don't know the history of armored
and that's
cars.
the thing is like I don't know. I forget what the score was, but like I was also like, that's it. So So yeah, that was the
Weren't too
second
impressed
half.
with the music, huh?
No, I
Yeah.
mean like the score is in.
Oh, how much money they got?
Yeah,
We got $5,000. It's
yeah,
like even in 1950, that's a waste of time.
right. Well, I mean, it was. The thing is that I always, because of my mathematical mind, it's always one of those things that people do this big, heist, which is wonderful. But at the end of the day, you have to split it between all these people. And I'm always like, oh, but they weren't splitting it. So here, no, I think they did. Do you remember that terrible movie that we saw with David Bautista and the zombies in Las Vegas?
Oh, Army of the Dead, I think.
Isn't that the one where they go in and they're like, we'll give you $2 million, we'll give you $2 million, like they're keeping like 20 million.
Yeah.
But they're like, hey, for 2 million, we fly a helicopter or something. I think Armored Car Robbery does something like that, where they don't
split it evenly.
He doesn't let them know what it is. He's like, hey,
Right.
whatever it is, it's this much. And it's still in my head, I'm like, no.
Yeah. Did you see the prequel Army of Thieves, which came out a few weeks ago? The safecracker guy? They made a prequel movie with that guy. I'm sure it's a heist movie. Maybe it's good. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, pretty much everyone's dead at the end of Army of the Dead, so spoilers.
Yeah, that was my
Apropos of really not much, but because I was thinking about it, we were talking about these type of heist movies. One of the worst I've ever seen, which surprised me because this is one of the classics of the genre, was the Italian Job, the Michael Caine one from the 70s somewhere. Oh my God, it is the worst.
We should find out when in the course of cinema that a bad guy was able to win. Well,
no, that was the Hays Code, I think. So that ended in is it the 60s? I'd have to look it up. I don't really remember. But yeah. Okay, so is it my turn?
Yes.
It's my turn. Okay, so the next movie I watched, third of four, is Horror Noire. Now, Horror Noire, a couple of years ago, was a documentary on Shudder, which covered as much history as you can in a 2-hour show, the history of Black horror. So it went into a lot of movies like Gonjiam, Candyman, Blackula, that kind of horror, blaxploitation era of genre cinema, and all the way to modern day with more recent stuff like Candyman, which would have been the 90s, and the
Get Out.
Get Out. I was trying to think of the guy's name, something Peele. Is that
Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele. His stuff. It was a fascinating documentary, and it actually led me to watching a movie that I had written off as just kind of crass exploitation garbage, Blackula, which is exactly what it sounds like. But I had heard of Blackula. I mean, if nothing else, that's a pretty good name from a marketing standpoint. But my impression was this is probably a movie cynically made by some white dude in the 70s. It's like, we just need to get a Dracula's popular. That's a public domain character. We can just make a black Dracula and cash in on the whole. Third of four is just call it Blackula. I'm like, no, thanks.
Is that what it was?
No, not at all. Actually directed by a black dude. Probably produced by a white dude. That wouldn't surprise me. But It is okay. Check this out. What I learned from Horror Noire, the history of black cinema, whatever the name of the documentary is Blackula is actually about a dude named Sam. I can't remember his name, but he is a royalty. He is a prince from some country in Africa. And he
a real country or a fake country?
I think a real country. I don't remember which country, but I think he's actually the prince of some country in Africa. And he back in the I don't know, 17th century or something like that, he's meeting with Vlad Dracula, the actual count. And they're negotiating some type of trade agreement or something like that. And the Dracula's like, hey, I like your wife, that kind of thing. And he's like, okay, yeah, this is going to be a no, you racist asshole.
Hard no.
He's like, we're leaving. And so the bad guy like Dracula kills the wife, and then he turns Sam, whatever his name is, into a vampire. And because he's like, because I want you to live forever, to know that I killed your wife and I beat you, and I'm going to bury you in a box, and I'm going to and you'll be called Blackula. So Blackula was actually the racist, what's the word I'm looking for? Just the racist name that Dracula gave Prince, whatever his name is, because he's a bigoted asshole. So and it's like that kind of thing where our hero, Blackula, Sam, he takes on the mantle of Blackula, as kind of reclaiming the word, giving the middle finger to the guy and such. So his coffin gets dragged up somewhere, and he gets released in modern day, which would have been the 70s. And I have some quibble with the actual full vampire makeup that they do, because it looks goofy to me. But the dude who plays Sam, Blackula, damn charismatic dude, kind of like almost a Fred Williamson kind of cool, just he's the kind of, there are some actors when they play Dracula, you're like, yeah, I get it, that dude's just magnetic. I get why people are just drawn to him. Exactly that kind of guy. Genuinely a really good movie. And the sequel has Pam Grier in it, and it's pretty good too, because it has Pam Grier in it. So I guess don't judge a book by its cover or a movie by its crappy title, because Blackula is genuine. It's not what the title would imply it is. It's actually really good.
I would never in a million years have expected that. What a dick. He's like,
a dick. Yeah, Dracula's a dick. and that, I would not have known that had I not watched the Horror Noire documentary on Shudder a couple of years ago. But we're not talking about Blackula. Hi, Olivia. Okay, just there we go. We're talking about Horror Noire, which is one of my favorite things, a horror anthology. So, following up Horror Noire, the documentary history of Black horror, whoever they are, the people with the monies, said, okay, what we're going to do now is we are going to put a tail in Kelly's face. We're going to make a horror anthology, highlighting Black creatives, producers, writers, and directors, and predominant cast. Yeah. So Horror Noire, which came out earlier this year, or well, actually, I think in October, is a 6-film anthology. Hi, Olivia.
She found these. She found these.
What are those?
You wanna go get it?
She'll be back with that thing because she's a dog. So horror anthology. Every single entry in this anthology is a disappointment. And that makes me super sad, because I love horror anthology, and That's not to say that there's nothing to admire about anything in here. The filmmaking is often quite good, but every single one of them is held back by, in my opinion anyway, by something that just makes the segment not work. And I actually had to pull up like the
IMDb
page because I couldn't remember anything in it, because again, it was 2 months ago, and I guess I'm just getting old and my brain is starting to stop work. Okay, so let's see. We've got Daddy. Oh, that's the doppelganger one. So
I love your, I'm just going to sit here and think about it for a moment.
I'm thinking about which segment this is. So this one
really stood out to you.
Yeah, I mean, I had to pull up the show names because I couldn't. I was thinking, I'm like, I remember actually pacing back and forth in my apartment, ranting about how it wasn't working and how disappointed I was. And 2 months later, I was like, Jesus, I can't remember anything. So
okay, speaking of pacing back and forth in your apartment, I'm not going to give anything away, I promise. However, in the trailer for Eternals, the scene that you really
blew a gasket about.
Where the rest of the treats is? Where are they? Where the treats is? That's not what you think it is.
Okay, so it's not edited it's not presented the same way in the movie as it is in the trailer. For those of you who have seen, I think it's the first trailer for the Eternals, which at this point I've not seen yet. I was thinking about going to the drive-in to see it, but then I figured, well, one, I actually did go to the drive-in to see it, but the line was out the drive-in, down the street, up the off-ramp, and down the freeway. I was like, nah. And I thought, you know what, it's probably going to be on Disney Plus in 6 weeks anyway, so whatever, I'll wait. She's never been, this is normally her playtime. So that's why 9 o'clock, she is a cat on a schedule. Yeah. You just threw something for her, didn't you? Yeah. So there's a scene in the trailer, at least, where the blandest of the Eternals says to one of the other Eternals, they're on their ship and they pull up to prehistoric humans, and it's like, one of them says to the other, "Look at that. It's beautiful, isn't it?" And we switch to a camera shot looking out the front window of the ship, and it's this gray, desolate, barren, ugly ass landscape. And I'm sitting here going, no, it's not at all. What the hell are you talking about? But I don't think that the audience quite gets it, because brother literally paused this. Look at this scene right afterwards. I hadn't seen the trailer yet, and he pauses it and he's like, look at, is this pretty? Is this beautiful to you? 5 minutes. 5 minutes ranting about this one thing from the first trailer for the Eternals. I'm glad to hear that that's not a thing in the movie. We go to the movie, and it happens right at the beginning of the movie. I looked Jeremy and I was like, when brother sees this, he's gonna go, okay then. I approve. Okay. So please tell me more about Danny. So it's a short with a really good idea. So we've got I heard that. Goodness. So we've got a dog howling. I hope it's okay. Well, I'm supposed to have dogs anyway. Who's like dying for attention because she doesn't get any. Yeah. So we have a young couple who have a young child, and they live in an apartment somewhere, right? And the child sleeps, and he buys the kid like a bed, because I guess the kid, they're in a one-room apartment, so I guess the kid was sleeping with his parents, and so he bought a bed for the kid, which I guess is out in the living room or something, because maybe it's like a one-bedroom apartment or something. But it looks like a table that he just kind of put a curtain around. It's really weird. Maybe that's actually a combo bed, playpen, work desk area where you can draw and scribble on top and then crawl under and have a little fort and go to sleep. Maybe it's that kind of thing. Maybe it's, I don't have kids, so maybe that's a thing that you could find at IKEA. It looked like he just put a curtain around a table, but whatever, it's fine. So the next morning, the kid is saying some weird things. Is something like, stop it. And you're like, weird kid, stop it. And so, what? Why do you keep saying that? Because that's what the man outside the window was saying. What? What? or something like, come outside. It's like, why do you keep saying come outside? Because that's what the man at the window was saying. So, oh, Jesus.
Oh my.
And
yeah.
So there's kind of things like that. And the father thinks it might be the neighbor for no particular reason, which is weird. And it turns out to be, it's better than what I'm describing, but it turns out to be his doppelganger. And they fight, and we have a hard time figuring out, which one's the real father. And so the next morning,
wait, so the little boy doesn't even recognize the fact that the person outside the window also looks exactly like his father?
I guess, or it was silhouetted so he couldn't really see.
Okay.
But the guy finally comes in, and I think the kid's asleep, or he's in with his mom, or they went somewhere. I don't remember anymore. But so he fights with the guy, and they get up in the morning, and it's very clear that the original lost, and this is the doppelganger.
Sure.
And he drops the act, and I'm your father now. And it's like, yeah, we know you didn't need to. We got it. You know. Also, maybe I'm just missing something, but thematically, I have no idea what this short was trying to say. I feel like it's trying to say something. I don't get it though, so it didn't work. There's one, I don't remember which one it is. I guess it's Brand of Evil or something, whatever. So there's one where there's this guy who is a cult researcher. He researches cults, and he's like, there's a new cult in town, and it's there's like these murders going around with people with their faces painted red, and so he's tracking him down. There's this one weird cult like church thing, and I'm gonna go check it out. And he's like immediately falls for drinks the Kool-Aid.
But he knew it was a cult.
Yeah, which is why it doesn't work, because he comes in the next day and he's like, I'm just going to sit here and listen to this podcast over and over and only read this book, and you need to come. Tells his wife, you need to come with me. It's like, just like that. I'm like, that's not working for me. I mean, especially since this guy maybe it's magic, I guess, but and so she is like trying to get her husband back. It's like, come on, connect with me. You used to be a journalist. It's like, but all you're doing is listening to this shit. And he's like, I want you to come to the thing with me. And so, all right, if I come to the thing with you, will you do a thing? It's like, and so she goes, and she's in, and now they're both cult members, and they paint their faces red and go murder people, I guess. Okay, I like this setup, and it's particularly relevant to people falling under the sway of really bad information from people who definitely should not be trusted. But that stuff, so far as I've seen in any aspect of anyone's life, that just doesn't happen overnight. That's not an instantaneous thing. You know, that's something that builds slowly. So that didn't work. And also, I don't know what the point of this is. Like, what's the message here? What's the thesis? Cults are bad? Yeah.
We knew that, but
it's impossible to stand up. We have absolutely no power to stand up against a cult. Well, I don't agree with that, and that's pretty depressing.
Yeah.
If your loved one is under the sway of a cult,
join them.
Run, I guess. Maybe that's the moral. I don't know. And because then you'll just be pulled in too, which I also don't agree with. So there's another one. I think it's called The Lake or something. Yeah, The Lake. Woman has some problem with a job. It sounds like she's a teacher who is stooping one of her students. They don't say that, but that's kind of what's implied. So she moves to a lake house, and they're like, don't go swimming in that lake. Bad things happen to those who swim in the lake. And they never actually clarify what it is, and neither does the short. I think what they're going for is kind of a allusion to the mythology of the siren. I think is what they're kind of going, because she goes into the water and then she starts seducing one of the new school kids. I think
like her.
That's what they're. It's just, I don't know if I'm just completely missing like all of them or if they're just not working. That one was probably the worst of the bunch. There's another one, Brand of Evil, I think. Here's another one that great premise, but doesn't have anything to say that I could find. So we have a guy who works for some type of community serving nonprofit.
Okay.
And he's basically the guy who does the big murals outside. And they're gonna be doing their big fundraiser in 2 days, and you got to have that mural because for some reason the murals make or break the donation drives, which is kind of weird, but you know, okay, I'll swing with it. That's one of those things where I'm like, you know what, fine, okay.
Maybe it's a community thing, and they really get behind these murals. That's fine.
Sure, fine.
Okay.
A little weird to me, but you know, I'm happy to get behind that as the premise. Fine. So we're 2 days out, and he gets a phone call from some guy who says, I want you to draw a logo for me, and I'll pay you $5,000.
At least it's getting paid.
But you have to draw the logo to my exact specifications. It's like, okay. And it's one
just bad drawing, because I mean, I can't draw.
Like, first of all, so the logo has to be a circle. Now you're going to draw a line through the circle at a 45-degree angle from the top left to the bottom right. Then there's going to be another line coming off that circle and a circle at the end of that line. Blah, blah. And he gives these really detailed instructions to draw this logo, and he like mocks it up in Microsoft Paint using the line tool, and then he emails it, and then instantly gets his $5,000 in his bank account. And he's like,
all right. Anytime you need another logo, dude.
Anytime you need it. It's like, all right. I mean, I didn't even have to design anything. I just created this really shitty little line art and just sent it to you. And so the thing going on here is this keeps happening. So he hires him for another. Oh, that was wonderful. I have another one for you, and I'll pay you. And so he's like, look, I appreciate it, dude, but I got to get this mural done for my nonprofit because we got the donation drive. He's like, oh, well, you know, tell you what, I'll give you $5,000 and $5,000 to your nonprofit, or I'll just give you the entire 10. And of course, this guy's, you know, he lives with his boyfriend. They're struggling to make ends meet. His boyfriend, I think, works in like a hair salon or something like that. They share an apartment. They eat boxed pizza from the grocery store. You know, they need the money. Yeah. So this is kind of thing where they're both like, I mean, kind of, let's get ours.
Well, I mean, if the line art doesn't take that long, anyway. Please continue.
That's the thing, though, is these logos, he doesn't have to design anything, and it looks like this is like literally half an hour of work, if that. I mean, he's just throwing this stuff together and using the line tool in Microsoft Paint, and then emails it, and the money. It's like, the idea is, I get what they're going for here with the whole do you work for your community and follow through on your commitments, or do you throw all that to the side and get yours?
Yeah,
because everyone's getting theirs. Why shouldn't you get yours?
Exactly.
That's some interesting stuff. It just doesn't work because he's like, oh, I'm sick, I need to go home for the day. I can't. Oh, well, I guess if you're not going to work on the mural, don't bother coming back tomorrow or whatever. And it's like, I mean, this should take him like 30 minutes at most. The thing is designed for him. It's a crappy little piece of line art.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though, and here's where it actually gets interesting. So he's at his boyfriend's the workplace, the hair salon or wherever, and he's sitting on his laptop, and he's drawn this thing, and his boyfriend's like manager or something comes over. And he's like, what is that? He goes, that's some logo that some guy commissioned me to design. He goes, dude, that's a Nazi symbol. He goes, what? He's like, you know, it's like, oh, that's like a Nazi occult symbol.
Kind of like the stage at the RNC.
Yeah, it's like, oh no. Well, I mean, and we're getting to some interesting drama. It's like, okay, not only is he abandoning his commitments and his community to make money just for himself, but he's helping the Nazis.
So this is like the whole cake thing. Like, do you make a cake for, you know, something that you don't believe in?
Well, like, no, but here's the thing though, is, I mean, it's not like he's being asked to paint a mural with Nazi symbols on it. That I think would be an interesting, it's like, do you take the commission to actually paint a public mural? No, he's just making a little line art thing and emailing it to a specific dude.
Interesting.
So it doesn't work. So what actually happens is all of the things, all of the logos that he makes, like come alive and then I guess eat people. And
see, I was expecting them to be like portals or something, like, you know, like when you draw the runes and stuff on the floor, and then all of a sudden
they're really bad CGI logos that just kind of float around and I guess eat people or something. Which, I mean, I can, unfortunately, low budget. I mean, it just didn't work. So when he gets the third logo, I guess that's enough to summon the devil who possesses his boyfriend, I guess? Or does his boyfriend die? One of the two. He's dead either way. And the devil is summoned and I guess wins. I don't know how that's a weird ritual though. It's like you have to commission some other guy to make shitty line art and email it to you, and that summons the devil. Okay. But again, I love the
YouTube video.
I love the
learn how to do paint.
Yeah, I love the premise here.
Sure.
But it doesn't work because of the specifics of the setup. Yeah. I really like a lot of the ideas here, but the specific details is why it doesn't work. It's like, oh, well, I think if they just changed it to, I got commissioned to paint this weird friggin' symbol on a highly public area on a wall, like a mural, a public mural. It's like, dude, you're painting Nazi symbols. And he's like,
yeah.
Oh.
And you got to kibosh that.
Right now. Yeah. Oh. So, yeah. There's a lot to like here. There really is. But I mean, it's clear that these stories have a lot of deliciously weighty thematic stuff on their minds. But yeah, none of them worked for me, unfortunately.
Oh.
Oh, well.
Oh, well.
Your turn.
So I lied at the beginning of our thing. I didn't realize that my fourth movie, I know I'm only on 3, but 3 is actually my last, because my fourth movie was at the second day of November, and I forgot that was a November movie.
Oh.
So my final, which is fine, because then we started with you and we'll end with you. It'll be great. So my third and final movie of October is a short film called Hair Love.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Did you see it? I think it won the Oscar.
Yes. I mean, didn't that get picked up and like optioned for a series or something? I mean, it's like a 5-minute short, right?
Yeah, it's like 7 minutes or so. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
5 to 7 minutes.
So it's animated, right? It's CG?
It's animated. So it's an animated. So
yeah, I've seen it.
This little girl. So basically the premise is that this woman has cancer and she's in the hospital, and she does YouTube videos, or she did YouTube videos with her little girl on how to do her little girl's hair.
Right.
And so what you see in the movie is the little girl is in front of the mirror trying to do her hair real nice, because she's about to go visit her mom mom is coming home from the hospital. So she wanted to do her hair really nice so that her, you know, for her mom.
Mhm.
And so dad comes in and helps with the hair. And it's like this whole,
Helps.
yeah, well, so he has
He
to watch,
tries.
so he has to watch the videos that his wife did so that he can, you know, do his little girl's hair. And this is a Black family.
Mhm.
And if you've never, the hair is completely different. Like hair is completely different for everyone anyways.
Mhm.
Like we all have cowlicks, we all have like baby fuzz, we all have you know, some people have widow's peaks, some people have a very far back hairline, like mine doesn't even
Mhm.
start until here, you know, some of us have big sideburns, so we all
There
have
are all kinds of different
there are all
textures.
kinds of different
Yeah.
hair. Black hair specifically has in there's a lot that curly hair, you know, is hard,
It's
but like
very different from our hair.
it's a very different thing. So
Mhm.
you know, they do see, and so it's basically told like the father doing her hair and like um putting himself in like he's in a ring, like a boxing ring with her hair, and he's like, you know, so like it morphs into like, you know, just
He's fighting with it because he doesn't know what to do with it. Yeah.
he's fighting with it. And so it does like this, it goes into like the symbolism of how it, you know, the dad is you know, really trying to tame and, you know, do the hair, and he does it well, and they go get mom, and it's wonderful, and she looks at it and she's like, oh, it's, you know, it's really sweet, and it's really heartfelt. And it
How did you learn to do that? From you, all right. I learned it from watching you or YouTube
Thank
videos.
you. But yeah,
Yeah,
but it was really,
it's a sweet short. I really enjoyed it.
it's a sweet short, it's funny.
No, I think I got optioned for like a series or something. I'm like,
That's
what are you
awesome.
gonna do for the series though? Maybe just kind of focus on the mom's YouTube career. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
Be interesting to see.
But yeah, so I watched that with a compilation. I don't remember because I do try to watch the short films as much
Mhm.
as I can. But they're so hard to find sometimes, you know, and like I am not someone who's very great at the search, which is sad. You know, I don't know how to correctly use the quotes or the plus
Okay.
sign
Oh,
or the,
right.
I'm just not good at that. So like when I look for things, you know, I can find commentary all the time, like reaction videos or people talking about this video. I'm like, no, I just want the video. So when I saw that,
I don't want to watch people talking about it. I want to watch
I just want
it.
to watch, yeah. So when I was and I don't want you in the little corner, like, you know, there are times I want that kind of a thing, but I don't want to watch you watch it unless I was here for that, you know.
Right.
I'll watch you watch trailers for the first time or whatever.
I wonder how many people watch my Sunday stream videos where I play video games and are like, you know what, this would be so much better if Andrew would like turn off his camera and shut the hell up so I can watch the game.
It's not watching the game.
It's pretty good, except for that guy in the corner yapping over the entire game.
That's the guy
ruining it.
Your new subscriber is someone who was like, you know, I've been following you, but you know, nothing ruins an Andrew Eisen video like
my own worst enemy.
so.
If you could sum up what the worst part of my content is in 2 words, what would it be? Andrew Eisen.
I didn't get to the basketball one.
Basketball.
What's this? There's a basketball one. Maybe it was that one that won and not Hair Love, because didn't Kobe like win an Oscar? It doesn't matter what I didn't watch. What matters is what I did watch, and I watched Hair Love.
Yeah.
It's all of 5 to 7 minutes. It is under 10 minutes, and it is.
Yeah, I think it was embedded in like Variety or Entertainment Weekly or something like that. And that's where I saw it.
So I was like, I think that it's important sometimes to see. So I've seen a few shorts from that have been up for awards, and not all of them are good, but a lot of them are really good, and they have things to say. And there's no words in this one. This one's not. I think it's not silent. It's all.
There's no dialogue as far as I know.
There's no dialogue.
As I recall,
the music acts as the catalyst for the story. Right. So yeah, I like to expand my. So apparently, you know, in and I tried to watch Hocus Pocus. I have seen half of it. I will watch the other half.
That Midler movie from the 90s?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
I've never seen it. Circumstances happened in which I started it, and then we had to stop it for something, and we haven't picked it back up.
Were those circumstances small children?
Indeed, they were.
By gum, they were.
Indeed,
Funny
they
you
were.
should say that.
It's so funny.
Man, I should probably use makeup for this because I am a shiny son of a gun.
I take, so when we do these, and Jimmy's like, oh, you get dressed up for your brother. So when we do these, I put castor oil on my lashes and my brows to make them. So yeah, just so y'all know, I don't wear makeup. I have gloss on, but everyone knows that. But I put castor oil on my eyelashes and my brows to make them a little darker so that
they'll show up.
They show up. I have dark features anyways, which is nice. Look, I've also been sitting here.
Ow.
I know, it's what
That
I
hurts.
do. I know. Well, I have
Is that
this
because
thing.
you're picking at your polish or what are you doing?
Well, here's the thing. It's really dry. And I have this new handy dandy tool that I love. And it's awesome. And it's for my cuticles. And I use it for my
I think
cuticles.
you're using it wrong. You're not supposed to end up bleeding.
All right. I have a.
That's all right. I got tissues.
So anyways, October for me. So I will be back to talk about Hocus Pocus when I finish it. But the point is that in
that's
October,
what you meant by a half. Okay.
Yeah. So in October, I have seen a short film, a film from the 50s, and a spooky film. So I think I got them all covered. And
yeah, not bad. I had the Haunted Asylum was 2018. Black Widow was this year. Horror Noire was this year, and my last movie was from 1997. It's called Office Killer, which is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's a movie about people who work in an office, and there's a killer who kills people in the office that they work in. An office killer.
I'm blown away.
Oh,
I never guessed.
Oh, you are not yet blown away.
Okay,
now I should. Oh, okay. Now you will be blown away. Are you ready for
blown.
this? Yeah, I was about. I'm like, nah,
are you ready to be blown?
Freezing. Are you ready to be blown? Are you not blown?
Okay, so tell me about these deaths. Are they fantastic?
The titular office killer is played by Carol Kane. That's why I watched this movie. You're telling me there's a movie called Office Killer and it stars Carol Kane as the titular office killer? Why did no one make me aware of this?
That's amazing.
It is amazing. Unfortunately, it's awful. Yeah. It sucks.
Is she cute though? Is she a cute little office killer, or does she actually try to be
not cute, like weird, like a really psychologically disturbed person? And Carol Kane's an odd duck to begin with, so she does a really nice job. I'd say it's a solid performance, but oh my god, this movie is boring. What did I write? I said solid
Is
performance.
it rated R?
Probably.
Okay, please continue.
Yeah, there's some gore. I mean, because all the people that she kills, she ends up dragging home and propping up in her basement so that she can sit with them and talk to them, including two little girls who were trying to sell her Girl Scout cookies. I was like, okay, that's pretty good. You don't actually see that, but she's like, oh, come inside. And then you see their corpses, disemboweled, sitting on her couch later. It's like, you went there. Okay. I think Janine Triplehorn's in it. Molly Ringwald is in it. I was like, holy shit, I haven't seen Molly Ring. Nice to see that she was still working in 1997. Oh, actually, I did just see Molly Ringwald in something fairly modern. I think it was an anthology. Love me my anthologies. What the hell was it? I think it was the modern Creep Show anthology that's on Shudder. I think she was in one of those episodes. Really good one too. Anyway, nice to see her again, because I mean, the most of Molly Ringwald stuff I'm familiar with is the 80s stuff. Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink, and all those
16 Candles.
16 Candles, all those, yeah. Anyway, boring story further marred by a grating, repetitious soundtrack and some editing and cinematography issues. Well, I blocked that out of my mind.
That is terrible.
Yeah, I don't remember what the editing and cinematography issues are. I don't remember. I remember, I think it was one of the Dario Argento films that had a bad soundtrack that I described as like a peacock being strangled or something. I don't remember what the soundtrack in this one was, but
when I saw The Third Man, it was a big deal because it's called the what is the
Theremin. Yeah.
They used, I feel like it's not the theremin though. I want to say something about a zither. Is there such thing? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Maybe it was a theremin. That was me hitting the desk with my knee. Pardon. And it was terrible. Oh my God. But it was such a big deal because it was like, this is the first movie to take advantage of this instrument and use it as such a primary focus in the score, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, maybe you should have gone back to the harp or violin or a piano or something. I'm gonna look it up.
You know, it was fun seeing Carol Kane as a serial killer. It's an interesting performance. It's not one I've seen nothing else like it from her.
It is a zither. I was right. It's a musical instrument. It was a zither. Oh, even worse.
Nice to see Molly Ringwald again. Unfortunately, the movie's just really boring, and the rest of the characters kind of suck, and even the kills aren't particularly interesting or fun. So yeah, it is just a dull, boring sit. I really didn't enjoy it at all. And so
if you want some good kills, you have to watch Hit Monkey and do
Hit Monkey.
Have you seen it yet?
No.
You need to do a debut review. I need you, brother. I need you to watch it.
All right.
And I need you to do a debut review.
Where is it streaming?
I don't know.
Is it on Hulu or Amazon or
Hit Monkey animated Hulu?
Hulu, okay. Well, I think I'm still logged into your account, so I guess I can watch it. Because Keleigh was over here for the we watched some of the new Animaniacs. So she had to log into my Hulu, and it's probably still logged in, so I guess I could watch the rest of Animaniacs too.
There you go. You can watch that and Hit Monkey, because I need that debut review because
Well, the next debut review I think is Arcane, which is that League of Legends adaptation. Did you watch that?
No.
No. Okay. Well, maybe after my debut review, you will. Okay. Or we'll run screaming. I don't know.
I'll have to watch it and let you know what I.
I don't know if I'll have that this week. I want to get this monthly movie mini reviews up this week because we're a little far out from October, or at least part one of the monthly movie mini reviews. Because again, we've been going for a long time. But all right, let's sum up. So best movie we saw. Worst movie we saw for me, the one let's see, what did I watch? So worst one for me, easily Office Killer. It's just bad.
Nothing to say.
I mean, horror noir at least is interesting to talk about because there's a lot of stuff to really discuss and talk. If it would be fun to have someone else who's seen it so you could really delve into it. There's a lot of meaty thematic stuff to talk about. Just none of it works, and it's frustrating. Office Killer is just bad. So for favorite movie, I'm gonna give it to Gonjiam Haunted Asylum.
Nice.
Black Widow I liked, but I was expecting to like it. I mean, it's another MCU movie. I like the MCU movies. It's exactly as good as I thought it would be. That's solid. Fair. It's a solid B. I really enjoyed it. Gonjiam Haunted Asylum, I had no idea what the hell it was going in other than, people go into a haunted asylum. Oh, it's a found footage movie. Oh, it's South Korean. Okay. I mean, kind of figured it was a foreign film with the Gonjiam on the front, but
Yeah.
the poster didn't have any of the South Korean characters on it. It was an English poster, so
Okay.
I had no idea what the cast was. Although I have no idea what poster is sitting next to us, so maybe it should have been obvious looking if it's a character poster or not. I really don't know.
Sure. Don't you hate that? Like, especially on those streaming platforms, they don't use the actual movie poster. They just, and that's something that you and I have
Shudder does a
discussed.
really nice job of using actual film posters.
Oh, that's
Netflix is
nice.
terrible. I
Netflix
complain about this in debut review all the time. It's like, what is this? Well, I think the last time I complained about it for Brand New Cherry Flavor, complained about it for Cowboy Bebop. I'm like, stop.
You complain about it for Squid Game and everything.
Squid Game, yeah, constantly complaining about it. I'm just a complainer. I complain.
It's more
So
fun.
yeah, my favorite movie that
I'm amazing.
yeah, I'm handing it to Gonjiam Haunted Asylum, a solid found footage movie and a solid haunted building
It sounds
movie.
good. I think
it's
you
a
might
lot of
wanna
fun.
Take a check of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All right,
obviously
Keleigh?
for me, the least one would be the armored car robbery. Just I only saw 3 things.
Got some fun stuff in it, but
It
overall
was fine,
yeah.
but it was just not great. And
Yeah.
and there are movies from back then that are just fantastic. And then there are some movies that just aren't, unfortunately. But I guess that's true for every.
True for every decade, really. That
Yeah.
there's a lot of great movies and most of them suck.
There you
I mean, if you take the scope of just all movies, most of them suck.
Most of them suck.
You know, most of the movies you've heard of are at least fine, because otherwise they wouldn't have the money behind them to actually be known and hit theaters and stuff.
Right. If you've heard of it,
it's probably okay.
yeah, there's something or someone's in it or something. Yeah. Yeah. And then of course, Freaky was just fun. Like, I didn't see anything that like wowed me this month. I didn't like, there wasn't anything that I was like, oh my God. It was fun. I was busy
Hi, Olivia.
doing Halloween-y things.
She knows what the audience wants.
She does know. She's gonna be the thumbnail. So yeah, Freaky. Get your freaky on. Get your freaky on. Get your freaky on. Oh, I'm sorry.
He's like,
I know.
you're embarrassing me in front of Andrew's 12 viewers.
I know. They all want me to behave. Oh, do you see this? I'm sorry. Did I put this here for you? Ready? Do you see it? Nose? Go get it. Go get it. I just threw it over there. It's pink. So yeah.
So those be the movies and shorts that Keleigh and I watched in the month of October.
Yes.
Hope you enjoyed. I've got a lot of editing to do because I think we've been going for an hour and a half.
You need to eat, brother.
I do need to eat.
She's coming back. You can't leave this on. I don't know.
Yeah, she's fascinated. Monthly movie mini reviews approved by cats. So that's it for us. I hope your movie watching was fruitful. Engage us in the comments section with what you saw and stuff.
And what we obviously have missed out on.
Yeah. Oh, and you can hit the dislike button, but no one will ever know because YouTube changed it. So whatever. I'll know. I think I still get actually a count. I think it's just creator facing. It's not public facing. So if you really want,
now and
so I mean, if you want to brigade my video and downvote the hell out of it, I'll know, but no one else will.
you get to know who, because that would be
no, it doesn't tell you who upvoted or downvoted your video.
Lusumu said no.
Lou says this is shit.
She's like, I'm sorry. You guys were better in August.
Yeah, this show has gone downhill. I don't know why I'm giving her a Valley Girl voice. This is totally not the voice that Lou has, you
What
know?
is what? Maybe she's a. Do they have Valley Girls in Germany?
German Valley Girl. I want to know what a German Valley Girl
They're like,
sounds
9.
And on that note, we are out. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.